you ever been taxiing on a runway and noticed all these big numbers? Like this number 8 right here. Do you want to know what they mean? Well, if there's a number 8 on the runway, surely there are at least 7 more. Like this. But you're flying from Exeter Airport where there are only 2 runways. So, what is it? Before you can have a runway, you need to build a runway. And before you build a runway, you need to plan the airport it's going to be on. When you want the airport plane, you want it to be flying into the wind for physics stuff. But we can't have it into the wind at all times because the universe does not want us to be that. It's quite annoying really how we can't control the winds. Maybe though, it was just how the world was meant to be. So, in the early days of aviation, airports would look like this, with a windsock indicating which direction the wind was blowing. Then you would fly into the opposite direction. This worked, but it doesn't work when there are massive airports. Happily saved with the windsock. If you record at what time and with what force the wind blows, you can grow yourself a windrose. This here is an example of one, with blue being the weakest and in what direction, green being a slight wind but not that strong, and red being strong winds in those directions. Sorry, me from 30 seconds ago, that is actually wrong because in physics it likes to flip stuff around, so actually it should look like this. Ah yes, in this diagram it looks like it's going this way, but in reality it's going the other way. Physics does really love to swap itself around. This isn't a physics video though, so we won't discuss about that. If you do want to know stuff about physics in aviation, just leave down in the comments what you would like us to cover. So, on a runway, if wind's coming in from this direction, for instance, the plane will want to come in from this direction. And vice versa. Ah yes, the numbers. We got a bit carried away there. So, this is the thing with numbers. So, simply, it's the angle of the degrees on a compass minus the 0, or rounded to the nearest 0, which is the number. But what use is it if, for instance, you were coming in north on the slightly larger runway for everyone to be able to know what angle the plane was coming in from? So you have to subtract 180 to get what the aircraft's reading. North would be 360, but the number would be 18 because that's what it would appear on their compass. If we were coming in northwest on the diagonal runway, the number would be 14 because the degrees of it subtracted by 180 is 130 degrees. Rounded to the nearest 10 is 140 degrees. Subtract the 0 is 14. So that would be your runway number. Simple, isn't it? Oh, Canada, what are you doing here? Yeah. You seriously had to change it just because the North Pole is moving. You do know this is going to be really annoying. I'm going to have to explain a load of geography stuff to them now. Problem is compasses. Regular compasses point to magnetic North Pole, which is where the Earth's magnetic field comes out of the top. We have another North Pole, geographic North Pole. All of the other world follows mathematic North Pole, but Canada go to geographic North Pole. Geographic North Pole is what you would use if you were looking on a GPS compass. So, 2 North Poles. That seems to be the problem, and I'm going to try and stop talking about this before physics me shows up. So, if you were to land on a Canadian airport, which let's say had the same angle as an American airport on the magnetic compass, it would have a different number. So next time you see these numbers when you are taxiing to your takeoff, just remember that the numbers are the degrees subtracted by 180 minus the 0 or rounded, unless it's Canada, because the Canadians love to be different. So, hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you will join us again for our next aviation fact session or story or short or whatever. Hopefully you can watch more Banana Plays videos. Subscribe if you can. We hope that you return for another video.